From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. Ray ARMANTROUT, I put a gloss on you. With the 4-line text to be glossed from ARMANTROUT's poem Habitat, the entire poem is 4 lines, with nods to Perloff, Silliman, and Alan Price. Habitat-themed enclosure, Zen-inflected mug. Around the block, dogs bark at absence. Habitat-themed enclosure, I put a gloss on you. After the Cabiza, no to wall-eyed zone-outs. Zen-inflected mug, pitch-faced in its cups, or sinister vertigo effects, and no, I ain't lying. Around the block, headed for juiced circuits, attenuated hypotaxis, always running around. Dogs bark at absence, the gap in the fence, Cohen-flaked inflection, how put a spell on you. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. Charles Bernstein, the extension of Rose c'est la vie. With the 4-line text to be glossed from Bernstein's poem War Stories, and with a honk to Bernstein's essays. War is the extension of prose by other means. War is conflict resolution for the aesthetically challenged. War is a casualty of truth, just as truth is a casualty of war. War is never having to say you're sorry. War is the extension of prose by other means. Raw is the pretension of Rose c'est la vie by other memes. Man rays sneeze on the found man's sleaze. Raw may be a language poet and not know it. War is conflict resolution for the aesthetically challenged. Raw is Langpo's solution to the alt-right phalanged. Silly man makes the social materiality of language more opaque. Raw may be a language poet and not know it's an airborne flake. War is a casualty of truth, just as truth is a casualty of war. Raw lang is not about deconstruction, but about reconstruction and more. Raw po is a mode of rhetoric, not an expansion of unmediated truth. Raw may be a lang poet and not know that freakin' bed called Urban Ruth. War is never having to say you're sorry. Raw is an aversion to the conservative dogmas of worry. Raw pragmatist poetics of language rejected a hermeneutics of suspicion. Raw may be a language poet and not know its due commission. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. Ted Berrigan, the Do-Nothing Congress of 48. With the 4-line text to be glossed from Berrigan's poem 80th Congress, with nods to his collaborator Dick Gallup and to Lita H. It's 2 a.m. at Ann and Lewis's, which is where it's at. On St. Mark's Place, hash and angel hairs on our minds. Love is in our hearts. What else? Dope and Peter Steldow, who is new and valid in a blinding snowstorm. It's 2 a.m. at Ann and Lewis's, which is where it's at. Except for Ron's, Dick's, and Joe's, and Tom's now I think of it, and Aram's too, some funny horseplay at 2nd Gen Coterie for 15 of Hop Along and Saddle Up. On St. Mark's Place, hash and angel hairs on our minds. On High C, Lemaitre and adventures in I do this, I do that. Coke and Coke, a maverick cowpoke. With Alice and Anselm, 1 and 2, grooving on your taken toke. Love is in our hearts. What else? Dope and Peter Steldow, collating sonnet lines at 3 a.m., chromatic variations, Jason cut up and shuffling off to Tulsaloo. Lovely Lita, give us a wink and make me think of you. Who is new and valid in a blinding snowstorm, not to say relevant, doing powder lines, no sexual congress, Grossman's Tavern, Downchild Blues Band, oh man, speeding at 4 a.m., and nothing for you with Truman. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Paul Blackburn, Shall We Dance? With the 4-line text to be glossed from Blackburn's poem Old, with a nod to Clayton Eshelman. Shall we dance that one around again? Dance it beyond perfection? The celebrated and most knowing accents putting the question. Shall we dance that one around again? Twist again like we did last summer? Brisk strokes with troubadour folks, but deft like your own Franz Klein. Dance it beyond perfection? Mobile half-stanzas, tight asymmetrical turns. Perfection is at best sketchy. The celebrated and most knowing accents. Say it again. Upper limit musica. Tilt the pitch, breaks to all that. Halting song like you do. Putting the question, full-throated gasp, or it sat broken up under your nose. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, George Bowering, Scattergun, with the 4-line text to be glossed from Bowering's Against Description. I went to the blackberries on the vine. They were blackberries on the vine. I went to the blackberries, that old impulse, but didn't yak about it. His favorite color yellow, May, number 27, his unlucky 52, and name drop D. McF. Sigh. On the vine, said, gimme some of dat light-footed blackberry wine, it's beyond description, so cover me in juice. They were blackberries. Yeah, don't tell me it's the show-me state. Here in the old human universe, straight from his open mouth. No cracks, please. On the vine. Ouch, it's also theoretical. Your daughter stomped on my stocking feet, scattergun, and no, we're not doing balk today. No Olipo left in our DNA. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Ken Cathers, The Sum, with the 4-line text to be glossed from The Serial Husband by Ken Cathers, with the slightest nod to William Carlos Williams. Are we no more than skin sewn over desire, unremembered flesh? Are we no more than the sum of the heart's frailest missing pieces? Then skin, if it comes to that, stretched cruel and unusually thin, sewn over desire, which cuts 1,000 ways like Ling-Chi's slow dice dance across flesh. Unremembered flesh, awake now to a descent that lashes endless and at odds with desire. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Tom Clark, Outlier Onward, with the 4-line text to be glossed from Clark's poem Walking Out. Early morning light archery, moon pictures propped on the dawn gestalt, a plum violet flood of light as I walked out into it once again. Early morning light archery, ultimate soft target great Naropa poetry wars, to Langpo group think thunk thud, with allegories pissing up our mutt, this spaced out raw worthy ace shooter. Moon pictures propped on the dawn gestalt, came a long, sunny, acid salad days eating pusillanimous spirit in Sky Church, gulp, high-flying in and out of the garbage pail. A plum-violet flood of light, early morning shenanigans peeking, au naturel, tripping the broad beams, can't believe we're here again, stone sober. As I walked out into it once again, full circle now, wow, peeking down on us all, primo, uno, gutsy, feisty, independista, outlier onward and still unco-opted. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Robert Creeley, Company of Others, with a 4-line text to be glossed from Creeley's I Know a Man, with little nods to Dylan and the Creel himself. Why not buy a goddamn big car? Drive, he said, for Christ's sake, look out where you're going. Why not buy a goddamn big car? Question for the dummies and generic Johns. Was that a real poem, or did you just make it up yourself? Drive, he said, for your own caution. Hair trigger turns, small fist of words elliptically on impact. See the light come shining. Christ's sake, look apropos that circumstance, that possibility, momently, like they say, any day now, any day now. Out where you're going, surrender its own unfolding. Drive, he said, we know this, blessed company of others. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Ed Dorn, slappo, daddy-o, with 4-line text to be glossed from Dorn's The Sociology of Games, with a touching nod to Derrida. In soccer, when you do something good, you get a hug and a kiss. In American football, when you do something good, you get a slap on the ass. In soccer, when you do something good, something mo comes back in spades and shades. Something saves the day, makes hay on the old post plantation. Paid your money, now get it on the ride, road tester. You get a hug and a kiss. You get a Euro pass zone out, zonko. You win your spurs up the Yid Army. You get a peck and you're faced and spaced. In American football, when you do something good, that 10% ammo, Americano, numero uno, el Alfredo, factors upwards, pigskin-wise, ditto, schmitto, LGBT, QPRO. Well, beyond the touchline, there is nothing, Queenie. You get a slap on the ass. That's Americano, macho, agro, lover Leo, homo, eroticismo, beats thars, homophobio, beats it big league, up, down, and off, slappo, daddy-o. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa, Craig Dworkin, The Deja Vu of Deja D, with the 4-line text to be glossed from the entire 4-line poem Acquisition of Languish by Craig Dworkin. Foreign part iculets stag, nated on thy tongue. Foreign part ickles in the deja vu of Deja D. It's a post-lang po mo. Say again? Iculets, stag, knights hunt motes in the eye of the department of anguish. nated on thy conceptual poets 30 years behind hearsay art, mind the gap. Tongue hold one appropriated letter at a time. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. Robert Grenier, dazed at the beach, a double-hinged saloon door glossa. With 2 4-line texts this time to be glossed from 2 Grenier poems, I Can't and Imagine Night If You, which is a full 4-line poem, with nods to old E.E., Led Z, and Bobby D, plus a wee dash of spice. The first text, I can't talk and look out the window and talk at the same time. And the second text, imagine night if you couldn't go in the direction that you know. I can't talk and listen to this work, been dazed and confused so long it's not true. Look out the window, hear not just the sea, vibration hung a sand groove, never bargained for you. And talk at the end of the beach, gone south, a clockwork wreck, things you should never do. The same time, ocean in our words, sand in mouth too, wet all over that old teen glue. Imagine night if you listen to this work, instead of stop to think you begin to feel, oh baby, I owe you. If you couldn't go, hear not just the sea, voices all those years beached, quick, tangled up in blue, in the direction that you, at the end of the beach, stymie very stone barrier, fence off more than a few. That you know the ocean in our words, we are a coastal people, no thing but emptiness in our eyes. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. Anselm Hollow, the crisis spirituelle continues, with 2 4-line texts to be glossed. The first from High Plains Grifter, which is a full 4-line poem by Anselm Hollow, and the second, by yours truly, High Design Refit After Hollow, also a 4-line poem. First text. On the high plains, when we meet the inspector, we say, Buenos tardes, inspector. And the second text, on the high designer bar, when we tip the barista, we say, no problema, barista. On the high plains, es designer bardo el frappo. When we go high, we don't stay there for long. When we meet and greet and tip the been there pastor ship, it can trip us up like praise the Lord, pass the loot. The inspector, que barista at the altarista, smacked out un segundo maladie de doute. Oh, we say, Buenas tardes, inspector. No problema, you're too late. We've already gone home on the Paranada of Diddley Squat. From Stephen Bett's Broken Glosa. D.G. Jones, All Dispalaver. With a 4-line text to be glossed from Jones's poem, Steve McCaffrey on Pataphysics. His anguish fouts the awe of the Father. The Addie's sentence ux remarkably Ike Daddy's duded over. with some many spendored pensis. His anguish fouts the awe of the father, dat gauge doubts and all could dent dis palaver. Those cadaver en famille war mine anglophone art. Do less dare gone done enclave at North Hatley. The Addy's sentence ooks, like penitence from all these spooks, ein vatch dat kaput dan nocht, mine solitude bind in our mist. Remarkably ike daddy's duded over, 0 marks for a gabby lover's udder, Poopa's brand new jag physicked in the drop zone. Poor leaf clover, that was mama's only groan. With some many spendered pensis, to be spent dicks would sew no tricks. This end of da line, o bag a nickel or dime. Ancien regime, there's nothin' left to mine.